Welcome back to the Channel 9 Live stage here at Microsoft Ignite 2015 in Chicago. I am joined by the gentlemen who are here to talk about the Sharepoint Arctic Challenge.
Yes.
And I will let each one of you introduce yourselves.
First off, I'm Chris Givens, the Sharepoint Server MVP. Got invited to the Arctic Challenge to be a judge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Ahmad Najjar. I'm a senior consultant at InfoWorker. Basically, I do SharePoint and all those tools that run SharePoint.
Okay.
Yes, and Hussein Al-Musawi, I'm a managing partner in InfoWorker Consulting. It's a Norwegian-based company doing SharePoint and Office 365.
So the way I understand it, guys, is that this challenge is a community-based event. Maybe, I guess, the thing to liken it to the most maybe be kind of like a very, very extended hackathon-type activity.
Yes, correct.
Why don't you tell us a little bit more about kind of how it started, what the challenge basically is?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the event is community-driven. It's non-profit. All the companies basically in Norway, they sponsor the event. It's a yearly event in a lovely location in Oslo. It's around January to March, where it's freezing cold in Norway. That's why the name Arctic is all about.
Although it was very nice there this
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, of course.
And so the concept behind this, let's explore. I know you guys have some slides, so let's go to the slides a little bit and kind of talk about kind of how it's organized and what actually occurs.
Well, so they invite some judges from the community to come and judge this competition, very friendly competition, where we kind of sit, and you see the graphic here of the judges, the council, if you will.
This looks like the Jedi Council.
A little bit, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of dark, though. You can see me there. I kind of look like a Sith Lord, but it's all right.
SharePoint Sith Lord.
Yeah. But they invite a few people from around the world, so they were lucky enough, and I cannot say how awesome the Norwegian people are for having my wife and I come over to do the competition, to judge all these really smart people. But what they do is they have these people, we judge their solutions. And so the goal is that they are trying to get these badges. And you can see some of the badges here. Each badge has different points to it, and whoever ends up getting as most badges as they can gets to move on and do a presentation of their solution to everyone else, whereas the group will decide who gets to move on. And we actually have the winners of the competition here to show off their solution.
Yeah.
So just a couple of the badges here. Probably the funniest one on here is the DOTE badge. I cannot tell you how many times we gave that out because they do something maybe not so architecturally, perfect, and you just kind of go, that deserves a DOTE. All right, so that was easy to give out. Some of the other ones not so easy. The judges would come up with head-to-head challenges, and we would give whoever could figure out the challenge would get the head-to-head, and actually was worth more points.
So is the concept here to build a single solution that then covers off the most badges, or do people go at it and build individual solutions to try to win each badge? How does that work?
Well, it is both. Like you can come there and build your apps. Each app can get you 1 or 2 or 3 badges. But the way we did it is just one whole solution. The idea was to create many solutions inside this solution, so it will be a whole thing. Like when you deliver this solution, it's like
You'll have details once we get to the winning solution.
Sure.
There's a lot of details, a lot of badges as well.
Yeah, no, I understand. What I was curious about is just how each team can take a different approach then.
They could. And what would actually happen, they had a blog, and so they would submit their entries for badges via the blog.
Yeah.
So we would decide, they would put their technical solution, whether it was a single app that they had built that didn't even encompass the solution that they were mainly building, but we would decide if they got the badge or not based off that blog post.
Yeah.
From what I understand in chatting with you guys, it sounds like a really, really cool, unique community event. It sounds to me that in Norway, now you guys are consultants, yes?
Yes.
And the other competitors in there are also consultants?
Yes, yes.
So it sounds like you just kind of lock yourself away in a hotel for 3 days and just kind of, try to get as many, get all of these things working. But it also sounds like at the same time it's one big celebration almost of the community gathering.
It is.
Yeah.
They are so friendly in Norway. The room that we had, as you can see here on this graphic, each of the teams were kind of broken up into their different tables, and everyone would leave their computers there. We all stayed in the same hotel and had all the event in the exact same spot in the background, kind of where we're taking the picture from here. Judges are in a nice isolated. Closes off. You can't hear what we're doing or saying.
So they can't hear you and
they
you
have
can't hear
no
them.
idea.
Oh
Yeah.
wow!
Yes.
All right, excellent.
Yep.
Yeah.
So very friendly. All the consulting companies in Norway, they all know each other. They all had so much fun, as you can see. The Swedish team here, super
the Swedish
funny.
bringing in their Norwegianness. Yeah.
They said they had a little car that they came packed in. So if you can imagine all those guys getting out of some small little car. Yeah, the good Swedes.
And the thing is, Joey, is like even we are competing with each other, but we are as well helping each other. So if me personally, I had a problem with JSONP, so I just asked the Swedish guys, and they were helping. So it is kind of, all right, we are competing against each other, but we want to be this as a cool place to create awesome solutions.
And that it was.
Yeah.
So it's just as much about gathering together to kind of almost hang out with friends, but at the same time really geek out. And then the goal is, I mean, just like any time you hang out with your friends, is you want to just beat them at what right? I mean,
that's right.
You want to have the best solution at the end of the day.
And there's in the competition there is no restrictions on how you're gonna deliver this solution. It's basically the SharePoint that is the main component. So you can combine it with SQL, Azure, Visio, Office products, Office 365. Like, sky is the limit.
So essentially what you're trying to do now is you've now have your challenge has been issued out, or basically the badges that they're looking for. The next thing to do is you start developing your solution, right?
Yeah.
And you are the winning team, and you called yourself InfoZergs? Is
Yes.
that what that is?
InfoZerg.
And I see
Along
we
with
have
those
the Jedi picture.
lightsabers, yeah. There you see, this is actually us. It's me and Hussein. There's also other team members.
Okay.
We have Sebastian and Runni. It's basically each one of us is part of this team. Let's talk about the solution case.
Yeah,
probably.
absolutely. So everything you mentioned, I just want to make sure we're clear. Everything starts with SharePoint, and then you just can kind of go from that beginning point and scale out.
Yeah, it is Arctic SharePoint challenge.
Right.
So you have to.
So
use SharePoint.
anything that can piece in and have kind of a way into the SharePoint world is all fair game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so let's take a look at your winning solution.
Yeah. So basically, just as Chris mentioned, there's a lot of badges, and in order to kind of like win those badges, you need to come up with a solution that kind of bundle those badges in one solution in one area, and you need to kind of punch out all those kind of like great features within SharePoint, which is actually the core product of this competition.
Okay.
So basically, the main parts that we have of our winning solution, we named our solution Feast, or Darth Vader's Feast, because it's basically, it comes with a Star Wars theme, So every year this Arctic SharePoint Challenge comes with a theme. So this year's theme was Star Wars. Yeah. So as we look at the solution case, so we have three main components, which is basically Office 365, which contains those two models, the food delivery and feedback and complaints. And we have SharePoint on-prem, that's running as your back-end thing, So we have also table monitoring using Visio services, and we have some reports, dashing out some reports using some Excel services and stuff, and we have the Windows app to manage the dine-in manager.
So let me ask a question. How far in advance do you start thinking about this architecturally, or is it you have a sealed envelope and you don't even understand what's going to happen until you get there?
No, I think, yeah, go.
That,
You go
that part,
first. Yeah.
they didn't really give out the rules on that, so a lot of it had already pre-planned and
Yeah.
had a lot of
I see, I
stuff.
see.
That being said, they did start off pretty slow, and all of a sudden they started blog posting, needing lots of badges, and they actually made a comeback at the very end to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So most of the teams that attending this event is preparing for one day, like have a kind of think what to do, but they don't actually go there and code and make the
Right.
code. Yeah. So all the coding is happening in the event,
Right.
but all the architecture, like who gonna do the stuff, so it's decided before. I
So
think.
you guys knew going in that you wanted to have this dining manager application.
Yeah.
And this solution. And then, so you walk in and you're like, okay, we've architected this. Now, 3 days, ready, set, go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. excellent.
Astonishingly, we decided to do that while we're having pizza. That's really weird.
Well, you know what? The inspiration comes in many forms.
Yeah.
So taking a look at your application, which is called Feast,
Yeah.
it begins Office 365.
Yes. So we have this Office 365. It's the public-facing, site. So like the customers comes in, have this online orders, and those online orders comes in, and there's also Nentix and some Yammer stuff that's going on. So it's basically, it's an order powered by Nentex.
Okay.
And there's some Yammer actions that would post those kind of like orders into some rooms for both chefs and also delivery boys.
So if I'm looking for a pizza, I then go, first I log into the Office 365 form, I fill out my order, right? I want a pepperoni with some sausage
Yeah.
and gotta do it, we're in Chicago. And then
Chicago-style pizza.
it through the Office 365 portal, then Nintex will then say print out a form in the kitchen that says this is what he wants light sauce or whatever it is. And then ultimately saying, hey, we need to schedule a delivery guy for 30 minutes away or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But you know, Joe, we didn't have pizzas and such there. We had this galactic food, which
Galactic food.
Galactic food, yes.
Yeah.
Some of it was appetizing, and some of it was not.
We'll talk about that after the show.
Yeah.
It's my bad. I forgot the whole Star Wars theme here.
Yeah.
Forgot the Star Wars theme. We're in the cantina, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right.
So also we have the complaints model that we talked about. It's also powered by Nintex, and we have some SQL action that's going on with inserts into a SQL Azure in the cloud. And also this is also can be seen from the back end in SharePoint on-prem because we have an external content type connected to this SQL Azure database. And also this backend serves, as I said before, reports and table monitoring and stuff, which managers could see all the stuff, manage this restaurant. And also we have a Windows app, which basically waiters and chefs could collaborate using a Windows app or a handheld device so they can move around and take orders around the tables.
And one of the neatest things about when you look at this diagram that they have here, you see all these different components and things, the flow of what's happening here. The badges drove them to build these things. So you see the third-party integration there. You see Yammer. There was a badge for third-party. There was a badge for Yammer. There was badge for using SQL Azure cloud-based stuff. BI, there was a badge for reporting BI. So the way they set up the badge structure drove solutions just like this. So all the solutions were pretty advanced.
So you as a judge, where do you then step in? Are you looking at it, okay, obviously the architecture, that what the actual solution isn't so important as much as their actual execution?
It changed, right? There was a baseline. If we would give a badge to a certain person and we kind of looked at it, it was at a certain level, we'd have to say, okay, we're going to keep it at that level.
Gotcha.
But then maybe somebody would step the game up a little bit on another badge. We'd hold you to the same level as everyone else.
I got it. And are you reviewing each one of these badges individually at a time?
As the blog post would come in, it got a little more difficult towards the end. As I said, these guys came back at the end. They start just blogging immediately. So the judges had a lot of work to do on the last night.
And the blog post is actually how they get the information to you about
correct.
the solution.
That is
and do you actually, are you looking at their code? Or are you looking at
if they submitted something and we were a little looks kind of like a screenshot, let's go see if they actually did it or not.
Or a Codeplex code. So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so you would actually then at that point have them come into the judges' chambers there?
We
or-
would go out to them
Okay.
and we'd kind of walk up very yes.
There's something very fishy.
Let me see it.
And there were plenty of sorry you did not get that badge activities. Yes, they were
Thank
very
you, try
sneaky.
again.
Yes,
I see.
Yes.
I see. But all in good fairness. All in good fairness.
all in good fairness. Yes.
And what did you win?
Those antlers, as you can see.
Okay, so let me get this clear. You architect out this solution.
Yeah.
You don't sleep for 3 days, and you walk away with antlers?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was
Insane,
pretty
right?
surprised too, but this is like the most honored prize in all of Oslo, Norway, but for some reason. Yes, it is it. They take this home, they put it, or they take it to the office, and it goes on their.
And do you get to keep it, or do you only get the one
Yeah,
the
we
one
keep it
year and
for-
they
for-
inscribe your name on
Yes.
it? and-
Yeah, that's correct. We
That's-
swap our
Wow.
names and just we keep it for a whole year. We have to return it back the next year.
You know,
Wow.
Joey, it's hard to believe what people can do if there's no management, project managers that pushing them like all of this. It's like inside motivation. Like they do that by themselves, and they do that because it's funny.
Yeah.
It's not. There's no prizes in there. Like there were some Lego prizes there. Yeah.
There were some prizes.
Yes, but there's not like there's cash or something. It's just
No,
just for fun.
it's this is the epitome of really what a community event really should be.
Amazing event.
And what's even more amazing to me is that as consultants, I mean, you're almost, I mean, you're in a competitive situation with
Yeah.
your other fellow, I guess, competitors almost. At that
Yeah,
point,
yeah.
And it actually did, they get bragging rights. This is a big deal in Oslo. So you win the antlers,
Yes.
you get work. It's
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you've
the
actually been able
community.
to, because you become more recognized because of the antlers. You're able to actually
True.
drive the business forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a very appreciated prize there because you know that this company is good what they are doing, and if you win against the creme a la creme of the Sharepoint community in Norway, so that means you are good, or you are very good.
So what are the rules for entry? Can anybody enter in? Is there kind of a selection process? How does one enter? I assume there's one coming up this year.
You know what? Everybody is can come to, like just go there, register there themselves. Is that what you asked? Like the
Yeah. So it's open to anybody. So if somebody, say from the U.S. or somebody from another country, how are you guys?
It's a good
Yeah,
lead in.
the next
yeah.
one.
Traditionally, for the last few years, they've been mainly Oslo kind of event. But
Yeah.
then, as
Okay.
you saw in some of those pictures, there were
Yeah, I
some
saw the Swedish
Swedes
team,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
One of the things that I'd like to do, the event, the badges, everything they've done with this is amazing. I would hope to bring it to the States.
Oh,
and
okay.
Be able to generate some kind of similar prize that is coveted in each geographic region, and have a lot of the consulting companies and build a community like they have done in Oslo
Yeah.
here in the States. So hopefully we can get it going.
I mean, there's no restriction on who gonna enter this competition. There were some people there in the competition that they never seen SharePoint, so this arena was for them. It's a learning arena. It's a team building, knowing each other and the community. So it is just win-win-win situation here.
Where can people go to get more information?
Yeah, you go to arcticsharepointchallenge.com. This site will be updated every year. So you just go there and see who's the committee and who's in the jury.
Yeah, you can see the badges that
the
are out
badges.
there that you can compete for. The blog of all of what they've blogged, all the competitors and the badges they tried to go for in each blog is here on this submission blog.
Now, during the competition, is this updated live so that everybody can take a look at it?
It is.
Of course.
Oh,
it
that's
is.
very cool. That's
Yes.
very cool. And of course, that looks like it sees here, you've got some Twitter @SPC Challenge and then hashtag ASPC 2015. When is the event for this year?
It will be next year.
Start
Next
next year?
year,
Yes,
yes.
2050. Yes.
Yeah, it
I
will,
can do the math. I'm awake, really.
it will be around January to March next year as well. We hope so.
And I'm
Excellent.
hoping to get to be a judge again.
Something you look forward to,
It-
really. Something you look forward to every year. So you feel
Absolutely.
like, when's Arctic SharePoint Challenge coming? I want to be part of it.
Right.
And right.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, guys, from InfoWorker. Chris, you as well. That's the Arctic SharePoint Challenge. Make sure you check out arcticsharepointchallenge.com for more information. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
very
Thank
much.
you.
Pleasure to be here.